That's awesome. That's it. Perfect.
You've seen all those fitness magazines with great bodies on the newsstand. What does it take to become a top fitness model and get on the cover of one of those magazines? Today, one of the leading fitness photographers in the business is here, Jason Ellis, along with 3 top models. Even if you're not a fitness model, they'll tell you what it takes to look like one. Plus, later in the show, we'll have a behind-the-scenes look at one of Jason's photo shoot, which is going to be hot. But first up, photographer Jason Ellis and fitness model Max Wettstein are here. Max is a pilot for JetBlue and a fitness model on the side. Great to have you guys here today.
All right, good to be here.
Nice to be here, Greg. Jason, well, everybody tells me that you're the top guy out there and that you're shooting all of these kind of photos. And what do you look for in a fitness model? How do you get to be in a Jason Ellis photo?
Definitely a look for chiseled features, definitely chiseled abs, chiseled jawline. So the word for men is really chiseled. For women, you know, same thing, great bone structure, a great body. There's 3 main components though, and that's really height, body, and looks. Height, body, and looks. Okay,
yes. Well, that's a good start.
Yeah.
And here's another one of yours. What are we looking at here? Who are we looking at here?
A guy named Will.
Will, okay.
Yes. And just an artistic shot I did in Laguna Beach.
Okay, because you have your fine art photos and you have your fitness covers.
Yes.
And Max, you have shot before with Jason,
Several times. He's been good to me. It's a pleasure to work with him. He's the best physique photographer in the business.
By the way, I just want to say you have a physique too. You look like you could be one of the fitness models. What's your background with fitness?
Well, I just really enjoy staying in shape, so I lift, I lift weights about 3 or 4 times a week, and I just really enjoy it. So.
And how much do you weigh?
A little over 200 pounds.
200, and how tall are you?
About 6 foot.
6 foot. Okay,
yes.
Max, I'll ask you the same.
Yeah, I'm 6 feet and 180 pounds, and to be honest, every time I shoot with this guy, I feel a little bit skinny. But I got my abs. Yeah. I got my abs, so that saved me. So.
Yeah, well, I saw in the makeup room. Our makeup artist, Tara, was enjoying doing your makeup today while you were sitting there without the shirt on.
Yeah, she did a great job on the hair. It felt good.
So you are a pilot for JetBlue. How do you become a fitness model on the side when you're an airline pilot? How did this happen?
Well, you never really want to give up your day job. It's hard to make a living as a fitness model, to be honest. Some people can. I was encouraged by people at my gym. About 6 years ago, I started working with a local company named Roadrunner Sports. And from there, I went to a model search, to be honest, and I guess you could say I got discovered by a agency in New York. They introduced me to Men's Health and Men's Fitness. From there, it took off.
So you've worked with Jason, and who are some of the other top fitness photographers out there? Sorry, Jason, to hear the competition mentioned.
There's a lot of good guys. Blake Little, Lewis Payton, Ken Sergi, Louis LaSalle. So there's a bunch of guys out there.
And were any of these photos that we were looking at taken by those guys, or?
One of those was taken by my good friend named Arnold Flores. This one right here.
Okay, we'll show some.
Yeah.
Okay, this is you as the airline pilot.
That's me and my real JetBlue airline.
This is
uniform.
you on the job, on both jobs actually.
Yeah. So my day job, pay the bills.
And not a bad day job.
No.
And this one?
This is going to sound bad. I do not remember.
Don't remember
the name of the photographer who
You ended up on the cover, that's all we know.
Yeah, and to be honest, every time it's called a cover try. I've never really been booked for a cover. It's always been a cover try, and you don't even know if you're going to get it till sometimes you see it on the stands.
Yeah, that's what I wondered, because I have met so many of the fitness people, so I guess a lot of it starts with you, right? I mean, the photographer taking the photos, and then do you market them to the magazines or the models or agents, or how does this happen? How do they get on the covers?
Well, to get on a cover of a fitness magazine, there's a couple different ways. One is if the photographer is hired to shoot a specific cover with a specific model. That happens with me all the time. And then secondly...
So the magazine will just come to you and say, we want this person and we want you to do
exactly,
photos.
Exactly. And then secondly, I'll do photo shoots. They're called spec shoots. And basically, I'll send them into the magazines, shop it around to a few of the different top magazines, and then the magazine chooses one of the covers, and that's how it happens.
All right. And what's this photo? What are we looking at here?
That's a Men's Health cover of Germany issue in the United States.
You are very German, by the way, with that last name.
That is
Wettstein.
it's my heritage.
And the blonde hair and everything else.
Yeah.
So.
Men's Health domestically now, they're only using celebrities, so it's a little harder to get on the cover domestically.
I noticed that.
So.
When I looked at the newsstand, I noticed that one in particular, I guess it wasn't Men's Health, started running the celebrities. What do you think of that? I've heard that in the fashion industry too for a while, where the models were being knocked off the front and they were putting celebrities more and more on the cover of the magazines. Is that cutting into business for the models, and what do you think of that, Jason?
Yeah, I definitely see a trend. Magazines try to use who's ever going to attract the most viewership, and celebrities just kind of have more pull when it comes to magazine covers and so forth. So typically, if the publisher or editor of a magazine can get a celebrity, they'll probably choose the celebrity over the fitness model.
But you know, I just want to say something, having met these people, and again, when I see how the makeup artists always, you know, go gaga over the guests and stuff, a lot of these fitness models are in better shape than the movie stars, I must say.
Absolutely.
You know, they are.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. I don't know, I mean, is that you should put the person with the best body, I think, or the look on the cover of the magazine, and not just because they're a celebrity. That's my take on it.
Right.
I mean, I love Danny DeVito. He's a great actor. But I don't think I want to see him on the cover of Men's Health.
Exactly.
You know?
I agree.
Yeah.
In fact, you know, a lot of times when I hear that so-and-so got in shape for a movie, I could mention really big names that I won't. But, and I'm like, yeah, but Eric Carlson has better abs than that, or Max has better abs than that, or something, or, you know, and so it's...
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. But maybe they'll bring back the fitness model soon. I hope so.
And there's also a difference, though, between the fashion model look and fitness model and bodybuilder look. What fashion models are very lean. In fact, that's a whole other subject in itself I'll ask you about later.
Sure.
So the fitness model is more in the middle. They're not as lean as the fashion models in general. I mean, they're bigger, more muscles, but they're not the gigantic bodybuilders.
Yeah, that's right. Typically, you know, the fashion models are going to be much leaner, much narrower shoulders than the fitness model. Fitness models typically will just carry a little bit more muscle on their frame, be much more defined and so forth. And so, yeah, that's the main difference.
All right, we'll be right back. And we are back with Jason Ellis, a top fitness photographer. Joining me now is Donna Feldman. She's an actress and a top fitness model. You've seen her on Deal or No Deal and also on the new show Fashion House. Great to have you here today, Donna.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I just want to say I was showing your photos to my trainer and some of the guys, and they were all thought you looked pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
Actually, they said more than that too. But some of them have girlfriends and probably are married, and I won't say anything more. So. I'm here. This is you on the cover of Fitness
Yes, that's right.
And okay, and these two actually were these with Jason or with someone else?
No, that right there is Carlos Armando, and the headshot. Yeah.
And the headshot is
Nicholas de Bruin.
Nicholas de Bruin.
Yes.
Okay, but you've worked with Max, of course, or Jason. I'm sorry.
Jason and I are actually planning a calendar shoot, which is going to be really exciting. He's amazing. So.
And what do you
forward to it.
What do you like working with Donna for all the the models that you work with?
Well, what's amazing about Donna is obviously first she's amazingly beautiful, just very striking features, just amazing eyes, beautiful body. She's very tall, and so she's got
How
a
tall
very.
are you?
I'm 5'10".
5'10".
Yeah.
And how much do you weigh? I asked the guys too, so I know that's not
I
politically
actually
correct.
don't own a scale because
okay.
I would be obsessed if I did. It's better just if you look good in your clothes, look good in your pictures, you're fine.
Good for you.
Yes, thank you.
But you were saying that about her, what you...
Oh, she's just got an amazing exotic look and just an amazing smile. So
thank you.
She's a fantastic model.
But I wanted to compliment you though, because there's and ask you something, because there's the controversy now about fashion models and we were talking before about fashion versus fitness versus bodybuilding.
Right.
You hear about the fact that the women, are anorexic, are too skinny. Now you get backlash where the European countries are even starting to regulate, what the models have to weigh in order to, I forget the exact details, but that sort of thing. So as a fitness model...
Well, I'm not, I wouldn't label me as a fitness model. I kind of, it's cool that I'm 5'10", so I've done a lot of the fashion, but I photograph kind of, more toned, and so I could kind of do both.
Okay.
So that's what's helpful.
But you're not going for the anorexic look.
Definitely not. Like I'm with elite models because I could do the fashion, but it's also because the trend has changed and people appreciate more of a natural look, and having an eating disorder that all these celebrities have is not the safest thing to do, and I would never go that route.
And what do you think as a photographer? Are you again, about the skinny anorexic, certainly for the guys.
Right.
And I just want to say this too, actually I was talking to my trainer about this. People say that the women are skinny. I think the guys are skinny. I wrote Calvin Klein, and I will say this on the air. I said, people are saying the women are skinny, your guys are skinny, but you know the women want to see, I think, someone with a little muscle, not a skinny little runt.
Right.
And he's and nothing against the guys because I think they're forced that way. You know, they can't wear the clothes and that. Why is fashion? Why do they want skinny little runts for fashion for men and women?
Right. Well,
both?
the basic thing is that people, models in particular, just tend to photograph better. Their features stand out more when they have less body fat, and that's why you have people like Kate Moss, waif thin, but she's one of the top models in the world, and you know she just photographs better. If she put on just 5 pounds, it's amazing how much difference that can make in your cheekbones, in your whole midsection.
So you think she's too thin, that she should put on weight?
I don't necessarily.
Well, a lot of the fashion designers, they want a hanger. You know, you don't want curves getting in the way of your design. And that's going to be distracting. If you have an ad campaign with a girl that's really super
Meaning
beautiful,
literally, yeah. And
you're looking at the model, you're not looking at the clothing anymore.
They want like somebody who's just like,
exactly.
No curves or whatever you want to say, but just like up and down. That's a hanger.
Exactly.
But is that healthy? Well, what do you think though? So it sounds like you were, again, whether or not you're going to say it, but
well,
maybe.
It's certainly not healthy to be anorexic. I mean, that's the question, right? Yeah, of course. So I mean, they're not, you know. So I mean, yeah, I think it's a bit of an unhealthy trend. But as far as models, you know, there's so much competition that they want to look as great as possible, so they get booked the most, and so, you know, that kind of pushes a lot of models to.
There's a market for everything, right?
Yes, there is, of course.
So that's what's
absolutely
helpful. Is then a lot of people trying to get into the industry should realize that too. You know, a girl shouldn't limit herself like, oh no, I'm 5'6", I can't be a model. She could be a commercial print model. She could be in TV commercials, right?
Right.
So there's a market for everything.
A market for everything.
Yeah.
Plus you said though too, maybe they realize that it's not as politically correct these days to be super skinny.
I don't think so.
And
look at the new Dove beauty campaign. Did you see that?
No. Who is it, Rosie O'Donnell?
No, they show the process of the retouching, and they're kind of showing women out there that that magazine cover that you see is not necessarily how that girl really looks.
Right.
After, you know, hours of hair and makeup, then they spent hours on the retouching.
Well, and what does that say, though? If you take a great-looking person who's in great shape, though, and then you retouch the photo, I mean, why? And sometimes, don't you think as a photographer, I was in someone's office, I won't say, he was a host of a national magazine show, and he was looking at the publicity photos that came back from the network, and some were retouched and some weren't, and they all agreed to go with the unretouched ones because it looked kind of fake, or you know what I mean? It didn't look human.
Right.
And he's a good-looking guy. I don't know why they had to retouch the photos, but he didn't look human. So I don't, are you airbrushing?
Well, I definitely do a lot of work on Photoshop. I mean, it's kind of standard, almost every photographer.
So you have to?
Yes, okay. And it's just, there's a real pursuit for idealism. I mean, that's why you pick a beautiful person in the first place. So you really just make the picture look as great as possible, and that's, you know, why there's airbrushing and so forth.
That's why sometimes when you hear somebody say, oh, you look great in that photo, and they'll say, yeah, I wish I really looked that way.
Right.
So, okay. Well, what does that mean for your fitness regimen then? Do you do anything special for the type of workout? I mean, are you...
Sometimes I get ready for certain, you know, when I found out that I'm going to be on the cover of Fitness RX, I definitely got a trainer and prepared for a few weeks before. But, you know, I try to take care of myself, but I'm not obsessed. Nothing is extreme for me.
Well, I thought it very interesting the fact that you said you don't have the scale, so that's...
Yeah, definitely.
And... I mean, obviously, I don't think you're trying to become a competitive bodybuilder. No,
but
there are women female professional bodybuilders, right? So what does that mean? I mean, do they have to take? Do they take hormones, or I mean, do they take?
They go to extreme measures. Yeah.
Do you work with any women like that who are that big, or is that unusual?
Yeah, you know, I photographed Linda Murray, who was Miss Olympia. You know, so I mean, of course, those are the more extreme end of the sport. So yeah, it's just more of an extreme sport.
Right.
Yeah.
Extreme plastic surgery, extreme
all of that.
Everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you both very much. We'll be right back. And we are back with photographer Jason Ellis. Joining me now is actor/model Dustin Moss. Great to have you here today,
Thanks.
Dustin.
Nice to be here.
So I was just looking at some of your photos here. This is you on the cover of Exercise. And we also have some photos of you taken by Jason.
Yeah, this is the first photo shoot Jason and I did together.
Yeah.
And where were these taken, by the way?
Down in your place at Laguna.
Laguna Beach?
Laguna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you like working about with What do you like working about with Dustin? What makes him unique?
Well, Dustin, I mean, just look at him. He's the classic, you know, perfect specimen as far as a male model. He's got the chiseled features, the nice jaw, the nice nose, nice eyes, just good features, and then obviously also very chiseled abs, as you can see in the pictures.
All right, and I think we'll see those later in the photo shoot.
Yeah.
So now you are 6'1",
6'1", yeah.
and you weigh how much?
180.
180.
Yeah.
Okay, and we were talking before. We've been talking a bit about the difference between fashion and fitness and bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And you told me that you have to, like your natural weight, you tend to want to be what, like 190 or something? Is that right?
Yeah, working out, my body weight needs, I put on enough muscle, I'll go up to 190.
190.
But at 190 pounds, like Jason says, 5 pounds, 10 pounds makes a huge difference. Oh. And on me, it changes my body so I can't wear the suits, I can't wear the clothes for fashion.
So you have to force yourself to stay skinnier to wear the clothes,
I wouldn't say force. I just have to watch my weight. And
so what does that mean? Well, yeah, it's kind of a nice problem to have, isn't it? That you have to, that you're able to do it, I guess. But you just cut back your eating, or what do you do?
Watch my caloric intake. I do certain workouts, so I can't run on a treadmill because I lose too much weight. But I watch what I eat, and I work out a certain way.
And what I mean is when I say force, that you're forcing yourself not to put on muscle, not that you're forcing yourself not to put on fat. You're just, you know, I mean, you'd be a bigger, more muscular guy.
For the amount of workout, I would be too muscular to do this other work. I do have to hold that
watch
back.
And not put on too much.
Yeah.
Well, and again, to kind of continue that theme we were saying, you know, I just thought it was, well, and you said too, I think that probably most guys, I think, would rather have, you know, this kind of physique. Well, yeah, they would. But when you go down Sunset and look at a lot of those billboards, you look like Arnold Schwarzenegger compared to those guys. I mean, in effect, some of the guys are just really, really skinny.
They
don't
tiny.
have. It's like in the old movies. You know when they say that you see the old movies and they take their shirt off and they say, oh, well, back then people didn't work out. These days they do. So it's just interesting, though, that the fashion industry thinks that even for guys, not just women, skinny women, but they want skinny guys. I mean, really, you have more muscular than most, but you see a lot of very skinny guys.
But if you take me and put me next to most of the other fitness guys, and we do a shoot together, I look skinny. I mean, I'm more on the small end. And then if you take a fashion guy and shoot him next to a fitness guy, it's again, it's the same. He looks like a toothpick.
Right. Yeah, and
it's all in relation to who you're shooting with and how you're being shot.
And a fitness guy would be up to what weight usually for somebody your height?
If I was just doing fitness, I would probably be another 15 pounds heavier.
Okay. And up to, I think, what you said, like 214?
I've been up over maybe 210.
210, then you start going to more of the bodybuilding.
Yeah, it's too much weight, and I can't work that hard.
Well, and let's face it, right. I mean, well, again, how much do you weigh, Jason?
About 200.
200, okay. Yeah, and you just look big, I mean, upper body. But yet, my trainer was telling me about guys who, you know, the professional bodybuilders are like 280, 290, or 300. And of course, after Chris Benoit, so many people have been saying this. You know, what point when you have to start taking the serious drugs, basically? I mean, I think it's no secret that the really huge guys, I mean, even my bodybuilder friends say, look, they've got to be taking something if they're that big. So what do you think of that? I mean, do you believe in, I mean, I'm assuming that you and the models don't, because, well, number one, you're not 300 pounds. So.
Right. Yeah, you know, I mean, the guys that are 300, I imagine they are. I'm not sure, but I imagine they would have to be if they're going to be 300 pounds. So, you know, it's pretty extreme.
I just think the health side effects is the reason I would do it. You know,
right, of course, of course.
Yeah. But again, that's not really the look you shoot, though. You are doing more fashion and fitness.
I do a lot of fashion and fitness, but I would also say that I do shoot a lot of bodybuilding.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, so I do all three.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm stirring something up here if I get you to say they're all using chemicals. But I hear that, though, from a lot of people. There have been people said, you know, that if you're that huge, that I don't mean like even the 220, that maybe the 250 guy, but like the guy who's 300 though and 5'10" or something, you start to wonder how he got that way.
Right.
So what do you like working about with Jason? What makes him special as a photographer, all of the people you work with?
Jason is his professionalism. Like on the shoot when we get there, it's very nice, it's focused. We're not talking about looking out at the ocean, picking up seashells. I mean, we got there and we went there to do a shoot. He didn't ask me to do anything crazy. It was all about, he came there to shoot me. He shot me, and he shot me in a light the best that he possibly could. I think that was the best body shot I've ever done, and Jason didn't use a bunch of lighting, he just used natural light in his camera.
So these are...
It was enjoyable. It was a short, like a 2-hour shoot that turned out pictures that have really worked well for me.
I'll just show a couple of more of your photos here. Were these with natural light, or?
Jason shot that one on
Jason
the right.
shot this one too.
In the same photo shoot. That was natural light. The one on the left was we actually used reflectors on that. But with Jason's shoot, we've already had several magazines out of it, and they're I think my best shots I've ever had.
And you also have the acting thing going on.
Yeah.
So that's your is that your first love with and the fitness model is kind of on the side, or?
Yeah, I moved to LA to be an actor, and was fortunate enough to fall in with through some mutual friends to be able to meet Jason. And I mean, when you have an opportunity like that to shoot someone, you just have to jump on it. You have to take whatever avenue is available, and that's what was available.
Right.
So, nice.
And again, it's interesting. So you have the acting, but also you kind of straddle the line between fashion and fitness, both. So
to me, as much exposure as you can possibly get, the better. And with shooting with Jason, great photos, great exposure, maybe lead to something else.
all right. Now you had left the business for a little bit, but you came back, or you
Yeah.
left town for a bit.
Yeah, I was gone for a few years. And this is one of the first photo shoots I had done in years, especially for body, so I was pretty happy about that.
All right. Here are some more photos of Jason, or I'm sorry, Dustin. Jason is going to now do a live photo shoot for us here real time with the models. So I will say thank you very much, Jason, and I'll let you go set up for the photo shoot.
Thank you.
This is you with the short hair look.
My first photo shoot in New York, 7 years ago. And I keep it in there just because it was my first shoot.
Well, when you were saying you left town for 6 years and then came back, I was thinking, but he looks young. I haven't asked you your age, but I was thinking he looks young, so I don't know what that means.
I'm over 20.
Over 20.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to turn the show over now to Jason Ellis, the top fitness photographer out there, and we're going to do a photo shoot here for you live on the air. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I'll see you next time, and now we're going to make this the Jason Ellis Show.
All right. Max and Donna, just come a little closer together. That's great. And a great smile. Perfect. That's awesome. Abs. Better abs. That's it, Max. Perfect. Nice smile, Donna. Perfect. Come together a little bit closer. That's nice. Donna, chin down just a little bit. Perfect. And a nice smile, Donna. Amazing. Amazing. I love that. Here we go again. That's it. Perfect. Max, chin down just a little bit. And a great smile. That's it. Okay, now just something a little bit more serious on this one. Just loosen up a little bit. Good, that's it. And come in a little bit closer to her. Perfect. Donna looking right here. Perfect. That's it. And one more, just like that, smiling. Excellent. All right, Dustin, come forward just a little bit. That's it. And a great smile. Perfect. That's awesome. That's amazing. And now just something a little bit sexier, Donna. This kind of sexy look. Perfect. That's it. Dustin, just hand on the hip right there. Go ahead and really flex those abs. Perfect. And how about a great smile on this one? That's it. Perfect. How about on this one? Dustin, switch sides. Good. Donna, just come in real close behind him right there. And squat the knees down just a little bit and open up this way a bit. There you go. And open up this way a bit more. Perfect. And how about just have your hand on his abs on this one? And a great smile. Perfect. And Dusty, a great smile on this one. And then Donna, how about looking down at his abs? Smile. Perfect. Oh, that's going to make a cover right there. That's amazing. Perfect. And Donna, looking here on this one. That's it. Donna, arch the back a little bit more.